Hey everyone, welcome to Geek Envy Podcast, episode 28. Let's go Geek Envy. My name is Eric, and I'm here with the three amigos as usual, minus one. Got Matt and Joey. Erica's taking a break for today. This podcast is always about video games, geek culture, comic books, and some other things we like to talk about. Mostly Gundam for me. What is everyone up to? And no one's up to nothing.
Hanging with the boys.
Hanging out with the boys. Boys night.
Podcaster for the boys.
Alright, well, I'm going to make someone go first. So, Joey, let's talk about you and your life.
Man, it's been a boring 2 weeks. I've been working, which is normal, and during work I just browse, for cheap vinyl deals. So I've been picking up vinyl records.
Anything good?
Yeah, I got Weezer's Blue album re-released with its original high fidelity recordings on blue vinyl. So that was cool. I found out my record player is it's 11 years old. It's an old RCA one I picked up from Radio Shack for really cheap when I was in college. So it doesn't play all my albums very well, so right now I'm using this costly record player that I also got for cheap.
So records are kind of up in price now. I mean, the last few years there really just seemed like a resurgence of vinyl.
If you buy new, they're pricey. Used, you can probably get good deals still, I feel like.
Yeah, and if you buy at Barnes & Noble or something, they're pretty high up there, but a lot of them, especially on Amazon, tend to go up and down in price. So you just gotta keep an eye out. Most of the ones I get are probably $11. And then, since I live in a Prime Now area, I choose the really slow shipping, and they give me $5 Prime Now credits.
Oh, look at you.
Cool. That's awesome.
Playing the game, working the system.
That's right.
So you should subscribe to Vinyl Deals.
Yeah, I've been
on Reddit.
That. I don't do notifications or anything.
I don't either. I just subscribe, and if it comes up on my feed and I know the band, and I'm like, oh, I like that, and it's
I'll just
$10. Sure, I'll take it.
Right. I'll just refresh it every day. There's some stuff that comes up that I'm not sure if it's good, bands I don't know that much, like Smashing Pumpkins, that one
oh, Gish.
There's an album that's yellow.
Oh, that's Pisces Iscariot.
Yeah, I have no idea if that's good or not.
That it has all the B-sides from Siamese Dream.
Oh, weird.
I like it. It's a good album, but it's it's not their best because it's all the rejects from Siamese Dream. But it's got Landslide on it and a couple other ones they got on the radio, I think.
Is Landslide a cover of
Fleetwood Mac?
Yes.
Fleetwood, yeah. And then I think my other prized vinyl right now is my Katamari Damacy soundtrack.
That's the one that was sold out, right?
Yeah, from Mondo. It's pretty cool. But other than that, that's it. I don't know, we gotta travel or something this summer. Just saving up vacation for that.
Nice. Alright, Matt, would you like to tell us about your life and ongoings?
To be honest, it hasn't been very eventful since our last podcast.
Which was a week ago.
Yeah, I know.
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But I saw Star Wars on opening day. Opening night,
Solo?
but opening day. Oh, wait,
The
no,
Solo
I saw it on
movie?
Saturday, so the day after. Yeah, Solo.
Was it good?
How was Londo?
Went into it not excited with no expectations, and I came out pleasantly surprised. So I thought the guy who played Han, at first you're like, that's not Han, but then his mannerisms and the way he says things and stuff, he really does seem like Han Solo. He does a good job with it. And then Donald Glover as Lando was surprisingly, I thought I would still see him as Donald Glover because Donald Glover kind of has a way about him, but
Yeah.
he was very much Lando. So I'd recommend seeing it. It was a really fun movie. There was a lot of good fan service. The story was interesting. It had a lot of good scenes, some some good one-liners and stuff like that. I don't know. It was just overall well done, I thought.
Is it a contained story, or do you expect a sequel?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely left things open, which obviously, like, it's him back before all the movies. So, he lives and then becomes, what he became in the series. So, it's also set enough years beforehand that you can tell there's stuff that's going to happen in between, and they kind of allude to it a little bit, and it's kind of in a way like they're alluding to maybe the original trilogy, but at the same time maybe they're alluding to a sequel, so it could go either way.
Interesting.
I think it's the most well done of all the new Star Wars movies.
Well, I have not seen The Last Jedi or this. I don't know if I'm on the same bandwagon as people who are talking about Star Wars fatigue. All these movies coming back to back to back, but The Last Jedi is coming out on Netflix.
Yep,
the 22nd of this month, or June 22nd of June.
You should watch it. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
A lot of people hate on it, but I liked it. You just gotta suspend your expectations, then you'll be fine.
All right. Well, for me, I think we're all along the same lines of pretty much nothing interesting has happened. I've been working, no real free time, cleaning because we had Memorial Day weekend that just came up, and I'm surprised none of us even talked about that. But the most exciting thing about that was we got a new vacuum, and I spent my entire weekend vacuuming. So.
Oh man, a Dyson?
No, too expensive for crappy quality. It's actually a German Severin. It took me about a week to look it up.
Dyson knockoff.
No, not a Dyson knockoff. Better.
Wait, how do you spell that?
Severin. Severin. Severin.
Spell it with all the words of Dyson, but in a different order.
I think one of the comments when I was looking at it was that it's a BMX M3 series at the Honda Accord pricing.
That's funny.
Wait, did you say BMX? Did you mean BMW?
BMW.
Yeah.
First thing.
I was thinking of bikes. I was like, what the heck is he talking about?
The first thing that pops up.
You got it.
First thing that pops up when you search Severin is Severin Films, the highest quality Blu-rays and DVDs for the horror, exploitation, sleaze connoisseur.
Yeah, I found that too when I was trying to Google it. I was like, that's not what I'm looking for.
German manufacturer of electric home appliances.
So you said all you did was vacuum after you got the vacuum?
Does it
just
suck?
Non-stop?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much my wife was like, oh, look, this needs to be vacuumed here. Let's vacuum the corners. Let's vacuum the carpet.
They were like,
what
our
square
daughter's
footage
dirty.
is your place?
Let's just vacuum
Let's
her.
vacuum her. But no, we kind of just did a chill Memorial Day weekend and didn't do anything really too fancy.
Yeah, we didn't do anything either.
We hung out with family, but it was pretty chill. Just for a couple hours and went home.
It's always you can just expect it to be way too busy anywhere you're going to go Memorial Day weekend. It's not even worth it.
Well, especially in the city, actually, most people leave and it's emptier.
Oh.
So I enjoy that.
That's nice.
And I feel sad there's a big empty spot where Erica should be, but
we don't know how to do this without her. How do we podcast?
Should one of us try to do her voice?
No.
Okay, let's not do that.
Just there's an empty hole with no laughs. All right, yeah. Now playing. So, should we go down the same list, Matt? You want to go first this time?
Yeah. I think this might be the same as last time, but I've gotten further in these games. I've been playing Valkyria Chronicles 2 a lot on my PSP Go. I think I like this game better than the first game.
It is actually very good.
So I was surprised because a lot of reviews I read kind of acted like it was okay, but it didn't have the narrative of the first one and stuff like that. But I'm actually really into the characters, and I like that each battle's shorter. There's an occasional long battle, but most battles I can beat in a couple minutes instead of an hour or however long some of those battles took in the first game. yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. So surprisingly so.
I think that was the biggest complaint about Valkyria Chronicles 2 was the characters, the shift away from that kind of like true war story setting to high school drama.
Yeah, so that's kind of off-putting, but at the same time, I've seen it so many times in anime that you can kind of overlook it. And the characters are actually pretty good, and they still have some of the previous themes from the previous games about like the horrors of war and like racism among the
dark
different
skins.
the Darksons or whatever, and the Galleons. So I think they did a good job with it. I'm really looking forward to beating this and then playing 3. I'm trying to play through all of them, so in preparation for 4.
The one thing that you'll probably find, I don't know if it's going to put you off, is the fact that Valkyria Chronicles 2 and 3 share a lot of the same assets. So when VC3 released in Japan, it had new characters, kind of like a new story, but they reused a lot of maps and the same kind of animations and everything. So
that's okay.
Still,
I don't really mind that.
Yeah,
the story's good enough, and like it's like Fire Emblem. You play it for the characters.
So if you feel that way, then Valkyria Chronicles 3 will probably be better than 2. In
yeah,
my
everyone
opinion.
says, from what I've heard, like from what I've read, that people say Valkyria Chronicles 3 is the best one.
Agreed.
So, but yeah, other than that, I'm still playing Kingdom Hearts, trying to get through that series too before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. So
when does that come out? Because I got it pre-ordered, and I have no clue.
I don't think it's still never going to come out.
They didn't announce a solid date, but
Gotcha.
they just did that premiere event where some new info came out, and
It's not going to get announced.
it's probably going to be 2019, I'm guessing.
Oh, plenty of time.
2023.
Well, it's fine because I want to play through Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I want to play through Birth by Sleep, and I'm thinking about doing Dream Drop Distance as well. And then I'll probably watch a recap video for the DS one, the Recode or whatever. That's what I think I'm going to do. Maybe. And then I want to also play that, whatever, 2.8, or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see if I get fatigue from it, but I don't know. They're so fun that I'm kind of enjoying it. Like, it's kind of stress. It's like a stress relief to just like kind of like jump around as Sora and hit some things.
All right, Joey. Would you like to tell us about your...
I've actually beaten some games in the past 2 weeks. Finally beat Yakuza 5. It took me 63 hours, and it's definitely the longest Yakuza game.
Wait. So Yakuza 0 took you
Oh yeah, I spent
like over
80,
100 hours.
I spent
wasn't it?
80 hours in Yakuza 0, but that's because of the you know, the little, all the side games.
Okay, so you're just doing extras. So Yakuza
Yeah.
5 was without extras. It was still that long.
Yakuza 5 without extras wouldn't take you that long. So Yakuza 5 has the driving game, or the driving extras for Kiryu,
Mm-hmm.
and then for Saejima, the second character, it has hunting, which is surprisingly really fun. And then for the third character, it has dance battles, which is also really fun. So I can't say that I didn't spend 30 hours on extra stuff. But then right after that third part of the story, things start to drag. They have like a whole additional character and like his storyline that's just kind of unnecessary. The story itself kind of goes downhill and gets wrapped up in like, oh, it was him, but it was actually him, and he is this other person you never expected is now involved. So it gets pretty cheesy, and then it just kind of ends without any real explanation for some things, without any like follow-up to some aspects of the story. So it's kind of bizarre.
I think I'm like 10 hours into this game, and I wanted to try to play it before 6, but now that they announced 3, 4, and 5 for PS4, it's like, I think I'm just going to wait.
Yeah. I heard they're not going to change too much, but
Right.
obviously if it runs a little better, that'll help too.
Right, and what's his name? The guy who made Yakuza recently stated that 3, 4, and 5, he's putting them out on PS4 for the Western fans. So even though there hasn't been a localization announced, the fact that he said that, like, you know it's happening.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Yakuza 5. I'm gonna take a break before I put Yakuza 6 in, but I'm looking forward to whatever happens next in Yakuza that doesn't involve this core set of characters, because the second character, especially Saejima, there's kind of a message in Yakuza 5, and they shove it down your throat, and it gets overbearing, and you're just rolling your eyes constantly due to the script. And so it'll be nice when hopefully we can get a refresh with characters and their personalities. Then I also played and beat RIME on the PS4. I had started this like either earlier this year when I was still in Texas, or I don't know, end of last year maybe. I don't remember when it came out. But this is just like an open world like type. Well, not really. It's not super open world, but it's like a little bit of just an open world puzzle game. And it features this. You play as this like kid who's marooned on this island, and you're going through all these trials, and you're not really sure what's going on. But it's a pretty good game, made by I think a Spanish developer, and it gets a little depressing at
So
the end,
in that case, is it pronounced RIME?
Perhaps.
I was gonna
I don't
say,
know.
I was hoping you said this on the Switch, because I've been wanting to play this, but I've heard so many things about how it runs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So almost every Switch port so far has come out with problems, and then it's been patched, and then it's better later.
So you might want to wait a little then. It does slow down some on PS4, but other than that, it runs pretty well. I don't think you have to worry too much. There's not a lot of like the puzzles themselves aren't very hard, or like I don't know what you consider like Twitch. There's no Twitch response stuff that you need to worry about. And it's a good looking game. But that probably took me about 6 hours, I guess. And then there's a few like other things you can try to unlock, like find all the outfits and find all the collectibles and stuff. But I don't know. It's kind of a cool game to check out if you can find it for cheap. And then in preparation to maybe play Detroit at some point when it goes cheap, just like all of the rest of David Cage's games. I'm in the middle of Heavy Rain so far. Have you both played it?
Yeah, I've beaten it.
I played it on PS3 and got to the end, and then my save file crashed, and then I had to replay it.
Oh, damn. So,
I don't know if I could have
spoilers.
replayed that game.
Warning, spoilers. I'm at the point right now where the main character...
Wait, who's the main character?
The father.
Okay, because you play from like multiple different people's points of view.
Yeah, but he's kind of like the main dude. So I'm at the point where he's been arrested once, and then as one of the other characters, you help him escape. And now I'm figuring out what to do next. This game's pretty dark.
Have you done the driving part?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that whole part was pretty wild.
The controller only didn't recognize one of my motions once, so I was surprised at how well it held up to... Because I think the worst motion is the one where you jerk the controller to the right, That one, for some reason, has a lot of problems recognizing it. Heavy Rain's pretty engaging. I just think he should have just made a movie instead. Just because I feel like some of the gameplay, especially with the motion controls, kind of just pulls you out of what's going on through the story. But it's definitely suspenseful. And that's it.
Alright. So for me, on my run of playing different Wii games, I put in Fragile Dreams. Goodbye or Hidden Moon, or I don't know the full title on this other than just Fragile Dreams.
That was one I've always wanted to pick up, like, randomly at GameStop, and I'd, like, wonder if I should buy
a
Wii game.
It was one of those games that I had never heard of. I had a friend who highly suggested it, and the full title of this game is Fragile Dreams: Farewell Ruins of the Moon, and it's about a kid surviving in a post-apocalyptic Japan. So it's really under the radar. It's an Xseed game where it's a 3D kind of environment where you control a kid who uses a flashlight, and you're trying to. I don't know. I've played about an hour and a half into the game, and so far I've just done kind of a bit of exploration and getting different weapons. It kind of has a weapon system like Resident Evil 4. Like, you have the box and you have like specific set of how much it each takes up. It's interesting, but I can't say too much about it. But I definitely. What?
Like, does it feel Japanesey? Like, are you in the city or like?
Oh yeah,
the countryside.
100% city. You're in the metro system at one point. Then you come out. Everything's like in Japan around you.
Oh, that's cool.
The other thing is just more Pokemon for me. More Ultra Sun. I'm trying to focus on one game now and do a lot of breeding and shinies and other stuff like that.
Nice.
One thing that I did get in, and it's kind of a what have I been up to / what am I playing, is I got Owlboy for the Switch. So I think I'm going to put Pokemon down for a few hours and see how this goes.
I hear that game's pretty hard.
Really? I know it's considered one of the better indie games that have come out.
Maybe I'm thinking of Celeste.
No, Celeste
is hard.
Is ridiculously hard.
That's what I'm thinking of.
What is this one's deal? Is it like just a platformer or something?
Yeah,
action game.
It's an action platformer where you have the ability to fly and do other things. I don't know if it's Metroidvania-esque where you get to explore and go back to different parts of the world, but it was highly praised, and it was something that I had pre-ordered a long time ago that came in.
Cool.
And
that's cool.
That's pretty much it. I got nothing really else going on in terms of gaming. That'll be an easy transition into kind of news, release, and announcements. So with that, I'm going to read through everything here, just touching base on kind of the major points and the big thing that happened last night. So May 29th, we have Harvest Moon Light of Hope, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection for Switch, PS4, and I think Xbox One, right?
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
Ikaruga Switch. Joey, did you get that? Because I know you were very happy about that.
I think I'm about to. It's $15. Like, why not?
It's only 15? Oh, I'll pick it up if it's only 15.
Yeah, I think most of us will at this point.
It's a Treasure game, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Didn't Treasure do that? Treasure's like the big shooter developer.
I thought you meant it's a treasured game.
No, Treasure.
I love this game.
Yeah, it's a treasure game.
It is? Okay.
We have Yoku's Island Express. I have no idea what that is.
So this is a interesting game that kind of, I feel like, came out of nowhere, but it's a open world Metroidvania style pinball adventure. And apparently it's pretty good. It blends the game style elements of pinball, platforming, and adventuring, and does it well.
Which game are we talking about right now?
Yoku's Island Express.
Yoku's Island. Okay.
It's on Switch.
I was trying to figure out. I was looking up treasure to see what if
Xbox
I was
One. Really weird concept, but hey, they did it.
All right. Well, I'm skipping the sex game because it's going to be in the list of our major news. So June 5th, happy birthdays. That's on Switch. I'm not wishing anyone a happy birthday.
Yeah, this is that Switch port of Birthdays Beginnings.
No idea.
Yeah, it didn't sell very well, and I ended up getting the limited edition for like really cheap.
We also have Vampyr, spelled Vampyr.
I'm curious about this.
I want to pre-order this because like a goth noir vampire game could be pretty fun.
It looks good. All the videos I've seen look good, and
people are saying that the dev puts out buggy stuff.
So, did you see like what they're giving away right now? There's like you can retweet it. I think Erica and I both retweeted it on Twitter, but the dev is like giving out a copy of an Xbox One S, and it's like a custom one, and it comes in this box with like the controller, and the controller's all like vampired up, like they made it look all like, I don't know, vampire-y.
That sounds ridiculous.
Hot topic-y.
Yeah, and then it like next to it is like a vial of salt, and then like some holy water and like a steak. And it comes with
it's like Buffy's suitcase.
It's awesome. I was like, I wouldn't mind winning this. This is awesome. So.
That sounds awesome.
All right. Well, I don't know how much I feel about that, but all right. Blaze
should
Blue
feel amazing.
No, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. That is
what's the scoop on this?
On the Switch release for this?
On the game at all?
I have no idea. I have not been following the Blase Blue, so I can't give you an update.
Man,
I feel like I'm letting everyone down.
You're a fighting dude.
I know, but it's been a while. So after that, another fighting, or Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn. Not so much fighting.
I can't believe this isn't a joke. Like when I heard that was coming out again, I was like, "This is."
Did you see the collector's edition is like 500 pieces only? I think. I can't remember what it had with it. Like this is.
That still sounds ridiculous.
I don't know why it's a game to begin with. Like it's so random. Shaq had a weird period. Actually.
95, 94. Yeah, I used to have one of Shaq's rap singles on cassette.
Oh, jeez.
500 copies of this collector's edition. Comes with a copy of the game. I don't know what else to say. What else?
I was like, and
sorry,
collector-y stuff.
A shirt, a bag, an art book, a hat, which we now call snapbacks, apparently. An art card, and a yellow vinyl of the game's title track, crooned by the big man himself.
Oh, boy.
Crooned.
Will it have a thing of Gold Bond in it?
Doesn't say. Maybe that's the pre-order bonus.
Isn't that what he promotes?
He promotes like everything, man.
Yeah.
He owns like some Five Guys. I don't know. Does a little bit of everything.
All right. June 8th, Sushi Striker, The Way of Shushido.
Yeah, this game's got a funny title because Sushido means the way of sushi. So it's the way of sushi.
Only you would know that.
Thanks,
no
problem.
Muv Love Vita. Or Muv Love on the Vita.
So guys, the Muv Love games coming to Vita on the 8th.
And Muv Love Alternative.
Supposed to be one of the best Muv Love Alternative at least. But you gotta play through the first one to like get the full brunt of it. It's supposed to be one of the best visual novels ever, like up there with Steins Gate. So I'm looking forward to maybe trying it out.
Can you get... I know they had like a double pack, but can you get them separately?
Yeah, they're coming out separately.
Okay.
So you can get them physically separately, but I think you gotta order them from what's that UK company?
Rice Digital.
Yeah. So I think that's where you gotta get it from. But it should be coming out digitally the same day, so I'll probably just buy one and then jump to the other. So So
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's it for releases. We're going to move into probably some of the biggest news that's come out in the in the year so far. We're almost 6 months halfway through the year, but Pokemon has...
It's all come out in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So we talked about this in our last podcast in terms of whether this was just, hype and a lot of unknown, but this is now reality. All the leaks, all the
trademarks,
and actually, what's funny though is I was looking online and someone had posted a 4chan kind of green text from April 1st in which someone actually posted this leak and no one believed them.
Yeah, you gotta be like
you gotta be known for leaks. You can't just randomly
to
say
do it on that day,
Pokemon.
Well, they did it on purpose in a kind of real leaks thread. What was
trolling everybody,
but it was real. So Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee are supposed to be throwbacks to the Kanto region Pokemon Yellow, in which they've redone the entire structure, and it's not a main line Pokemon game. It's kind of a spin-off in which they'll do a lot of integration of Pokemon Go style mechanics. So catching Pokemon will be tossing a ball at them. No real wild encounter battles. You're kind of just going to do the Pokemon Go style, collecting as many as you can. There'll be some trainer battles, and I really don't know much more. We're basing pretty much everything off of what we've seen in the 2-minute trailer. A lot of coolness in regards to riding Pokemon, transferring Pokemon from Pokemon Go. And this really cool Pokeball Plus. So if you had Pokemon Go and you bought the Pokemon Go Plus thing, the little attachment that lets you collect Pokemon and throw Pokeballs and all that other wonderful stuff, there's now an actual Pokeball attachment that does all of that.
The other thing is still useless.
Yeah, it's still useless, and I just got one. That was a very large bet on my side. I was like, you know what, this may be integrated into Pokemon Go Switch, so let's roll the dice. Hey, you never know. So I don't know how you guys feel about this. I am a 50-50 on this. I feel that it's going to heavily cater towards those who play Pokemon Go, and it's really Nintendo pushing Switches to that demographic, really. Why not?
This really could have come out at a better time for Pokemon Go.
Wow. Why do you feel that? I mean, its release date is in November. It's towards the end of November, so it's catching the holiday period.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a good time. Obviously, it's coming out for holiday time at the Switch. This is probably some of the biggest news for the Switch. But I mean, are Go players still? Is it big enough to pull in these Go players?
I mean, I think so.
That's the part I'm not super sure about. One of the things I think that's weird about the game is that what's cool about the phone game is that people are going out and doing this like on their lunch break or on the way to work in the morning. So it kind of is a self-contained thing you do, whereas this game kind of makes it okay, you've done all this Pokemon Go catching on your break, now come back to the home and do more of it.
I don't know. I think that there's still a huge active Pokemon Go player base, and maybe those who downloaded the game, tried it for a few months, put it down because a lot of the changes, reinstalled it and realized that they had Pokemon and they were at a specific level that it may get them to pick it back up, play, and then when the game comes out, transition all those Pokemon into the game, if that's even possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I think the other disappointment here is that there's still there's not much value to just catching all these Pokemon, because you're not really there's no full battle system in this game.
No.
So you still just have a bunch of Pokemon.
Well, that was my main concern too. Like, you spend a lot of time in Pokemon Go just collecting a lot of the same Pokemon to turn them into
The different ones.
No, into like almost like a payment system where you get like Kadabra coins. Like, you turn them in to get Kadabra coins to level up or to evolve your Kadabra into Alakazam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the... Sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the word.
Yeah,
like
what's the
incentive? What's the incentive of really like spending time to catch a whole bunch of them?
If they flesh out the multiplayer enough, and there's person-to-person battles,
there isn't. It's only local.
Oh yeah.
There's no online multiplayer.
Forgot about that. Well, poop.
So again, this is why I'm still 50-50 on it. It's going to be an interesting run at Pokemon on the Switch. I think at least it's going to gauge a lot of the Go players. It's kind of engage the already existing base that's huge on the nostalgia factor of the original games. It looks very entry level engaging, so like I almost think it'd be like I could pick it up and my daughter would be interested in throwing the Pokeballs and catching them that way. It's simplistic enough, but it's not. I don't know. For me, as like almost like a diehard in a way, there's no battles, there's no leveling, there's no training, there's no this and that.
There's not enough depth still, and I think so. Talk me through this. Pokemon Go, the phone app. What are the regions of Pokemon you can catch?
Up to Gen 4, I think, right now. I re-downloaded Pokemon Go actually today.
And so people who have Pokemon Go essentially probably already have all the Pokemon that exist in the region that this game is going to take place.
Some of them are pretty hard to get.
Yeah, so the Kanto region is the first region, the original 151 Pokemon.
Right.
Unless you were a diehard player from like day one to current and doing all like the events and the like raid battles, I would almost say that it's kind of hard to have a full Pokédex of all the actual Pokemon.
Would you say that it's equally hard playing through Pokemon Yellow to have like a full Pokédex?
I would say it's almost easier in the original games to get a full Pokédex versus Pokemon Go.
You can just grind it out and eventually get everything. But in Pokemon Go, it's like random.
Well, yeah, because you don't.
There's a random chance to see certain Pokemon,
and it's supposed to be based on your.
Also, some of the Pokemon are behind walls, like when they have raids, and so you have to have multiple people in the same place at the same time, and you have to beat the thing, and then you have a chance of getting.
Yeah,
legendary.
You're not guaranteed the legendary. You actually have to, and I think Mew was also an event, kind of like special gathering Pokemon, where you had to do something with a group and then raid, and then oh my god, you can catch Mew, but he's not guaranteed.
Right.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know. Game seems okay.
I think, like I said, for me the takeaway here is that it's entry level. It has maybe a good amount of depth for those who want to transition from the mobile game phone to an actual console.
Yeah. You know, to me, the biggest development here, and this is going to sound a little weird, is the development of a one-handed RPG controller.
That is interesting, but I really don't think... I mean, if you look at the Game Boy and kind of the original red-blue, you only needed a directional pad in A and B.
So but you still use really two hands. But so I do think like this is something that's pretty cool to have, like a one-handed RPG controller. There's been times where I've been like, I'd rather be on my phone but still be able to move this character around because I'm just grinding on the field to pick a battle or something. I don't know, that's cool.
Well, I mean, imagine the Pokeball Plus is a ball in your hand with a joystick that you click.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's an awesome development.
All right. Well, one of the other things that were discussed or released the same day was Pokemon Quest. And Pokemon.
Yeah, what the heck is this? It's like free on my Switch, apparently.
Yeah, so it's free to play mobile style game, or at least free to play in the beginning. And I think this has been compared to Viva Pinata. You do a lot of cooking. You gather materials, you cook, and then whatever you cook will attract certain Pokemon to join your party.
Why is it why does it look like Minecraft graphics?
I have no idea. It's super like 6-bit. It's not even like 8-bit. I have no idea why they went with that style. But it's free. It's available now. You can play it on your Switch. You can play it on your phone.
Weird.
That's all
Would
I got.
you recommend it?
I have not downloaded it. I don't know if I will. But it's free, so I may. Why not, right?
What else are you gonna do on your Switch?
I don't know. It's been collecting dust for a while, but I got Owlboy now. So. All right, Fallout 76. So Fallout or Bethesda all of yesterday afternoon, and I kind of feel bad for them because they had this ready and up, and then Nintendo shit on them. They teased all throughout the day kind of like different things with a please stand by background, and they finally dropped a reveal trailer for Fallout 76. And so Fallout 76 is along the same lines of Fallout 3, I think, given Fallout 3's it's a 10-year anniversary, released in 2008. Fallout 76 was supposed to take place 20 years before Fallout 3. I think the trailer kind of had a teaser in terms of where it's going to take place, which is West Virginia, or maybe just somewhere in between there.
Somewhere in the mountains.
Somewhere in the mountain range, but I don't have much more on this. So, Matt, Joey, do you guys have any ideas on Fallout 76?
I'm excited.
Well, it's not Obsidian. It's Bethesda itself that's doing this.
Yeah, so I was. I didn't think it was going to be Obsidian. I was kind of just joking when I said that in our text earlier. Everyone always says that New Vegas is like the best Fallout game.
No,
and Obsidian made that one.
I disagree, but okay.
Obsidian's too busy with what is it, like Path of Eternity or Pillars of Eternity 2, I think. So they're probably not going to do that. But I thought it was interesting that it's Bethesda Game Studios that's doing it. Because there's been a lot of rumors about other things they're doing, like Starfield, and so I hope that's still happening.
And there's the rumors that this one could possibly be more like building focused, more management focused than maybe a like traditional Fallout. My only concern is like, are they still using the crappy engine that they use?
I don't think the engine's that bad.
It looks terrible. The skeletons are terrible. Like when you rely on modders to make the game look so much better, I don't know.
I guess that's true.
But I mean, it's cool to get more lore into the Fallout world, since this is supposed to be one of the shelters that they didn't do terrible, horrible things to. And they seem a little bit like patriotic, like super into their ideas of repairing the world, and obviously that doesn't happen in the Fallout lore. Everything still looks pretty shitty in the later games, so that's going to be kind of cool. And hopefully it'll be open to modding too, so we'll see a lot of
it will.
cool stuff.
Yeah, so
especially if they go more into building and like that management system type stuff, like it could be cool.
right.
All right. Well, E3 is finally upon us.
Woo!
We are in the month
Again.
of E3, June 12th through 14th. So everyone, get out your E3 bingo charts.
Another year of disappointment.
Well, I think, I don't know if you guys said this in the text chatter, if I saw this online, but with all of the releases that have come out between, Bethesda dropping Fallout 76 and Nintendo dropping Pokemon Let's Go, and even mentioning that the mainline games are going to come in 2019, so, the follow-up to XY and Ultra Sun and Moon, what are they going to announce? Do they have things even bigger than what's already been announced, or this just kind of be like a refresher?
There's going to be something.
Also, like, I think there'll be something big, but I feel like we're on the third year of like the same games we've been talking about. We've been talking about Spider-Man for 3 years now. We've been talking about Last of Us. We're talking about Kojima's game. So I don't know if this is going to be, unless Microsoft does something crazy, like a super.
Microsoft says it's going to be their
year.
biggest one yet, but they say that every year.
Do they? Oh man, poor Microsoft. It's our biggest year yet.
My favorite joke is always that they're going to announce that they're not making games anymore. We're quitting the video game industry.
That's our biggest year yet.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what does EA have? What does Microsoft? I mean, Bethesda already put out their Fallout 76 unless they come out with some more about, Fallout 3 Anniversary Edition.
Yeah. So EA is going first, and I think they're going to talk about Battlefield. They will talk about sports.
So the rumor...
Are they doing Anthem?
The rumor for Microsoft is a new Gears game, a new Halo game, a new Forza Horizon 4.
Oh gosh.
There was one more. One of the guys who predicted Fallout 76 had these 4 games, so everyone thinks he's going to be right. I can't remember the other one, but it's another normal. I think Crackdown 3 is still happening. Maybe.
So nothing.
Yeah, sure.
Bethesda could surprise us. They could release Starfield. They'll probably talk about Wolfenstein on the Switch.
I hope they do, because I really want them to do something new. That's a new Bethesda game.
It's just going to be Fallout and Skyrim in space.
That's fine.
With the same crappy skeletons.
I'm okay with this.
And a bunch of items.
Of course you
just pick up and hoard.
Yeah.
Square, unless they're going to give us more Final Fantasy VII, which I doubt they will.
I don't know what Square Enix does. They have an hour to present something. Kingdom Hearts, obviously.
They're doing something big, so... And they just had a big Kingdom Hearts event, so... I mean, I know Kingdom Hearts is supposed to be playable there, so that'll probably factor into it. But... And I'm sure there's going to be some Final Fantasy 15 expansions. But... I feel like they're going to announce something. Because they really have nothing on the horizon. There's nothing big.
Nothing big on anyone's
so
horizon.
It could be a new... what's his name? The guy who did Nier game.
Oh, that would be nice.
The next numbered Final Fantasy hasn't been announced yet, so that could happen.
Oh, man. Do they sell enough copies of Final Fantasy 15 yet?
Yeah, I think it went well.
It went
it's been released
10 million
times.
or something. Yeah. That would be really cool. Kind of. Because 15 sucked, but...
No, it did.
Yes, it did.
It had some flaws.
Ubisoft's going to probably talk about...
They got that Pirates game.
Beyond Good and Evil.
And
is that still
Good and Evil,
still in work? Again, for
Beyond,
3 years,
Beyond
we've
Good
been
and
talking
Evil
about
2?
Beyond Good and Evil.
We've been talking about that game for 6 years. Maybe more.
I know, it's ridiculous. They'll probably have another driving game also where you pursue people.
So, yeah.
Who's doing Anthem? That's EA, right?
Oh yeah, Anthem is supposed to have something announced on Twitter, and like they're teasing something just like Fallout did.
Yeah.
Right now, but like it's like, why would they do that right after the Pokemon and the Fallout tease? Like, no one cares. Just just wait for E3.
Destiny 2 is supposed to get a significant update.
Right. They're
gives
trying
you
to
like
save
a whole
that game.
Yeah, like a whole new way to play a first-person shooter or something. Probably.
I don't know. Destiny has fallen so far off the wagon. It's not even...
Sony, like I was saying, Sony's going to talk about Spider-Man, Last of Us 2, Death Stranding.
I think that Rocksteady is going to announce something. That's something I haven't heard anyone talking about, but I think it's going to happen anyways. Because...
What do you think they'll do?
Well, they said it's not going to be Batman anymore. So it's going to be something new from them. Because they've been silent for like years. Like, Arkham Knight came out a long time ago. The last thing they made, I think, was like Batman VR. Like, they've been silent for like multiple years. I think they're going to announce something big.
That's cool. The Batman VR game, by the way, is like really cheap digitally, and I went to watch the trailer to see like what it's about, and the trailer literally shows no gameplay.
Damn.
Well, it's like Batman walking around the Batcave.
Oh man, that's it?
Yeah, but you can look in the mirror and you are the Batman.
That's why the trailer was just like the cow, like different angles of his cow.
Oh jeez.
Weird.
Well, Nintendo Smash, that's going to be the biggest thing. They've already done Pokemon, so they're probably going to focus on Smash, right?
Yeah, Smash. I think we could see Metroid news.
What about Animal Crossing?
Maybe.
I know Erica was saying that with Pocket Camp, it was probably, testing the waters to see how it would be. It's possible. We could get an
too soon.
No.
What about someone said one of the leaks suggested, what's that Space Fox game?
Oh, Star Fox? Yeah, that's
Star
coming.
Fox.
Space Fox.
Space Fox.
I think
Chinese Star Fox.
I think that's coming for sure.
So I'm pretty sure they'll announce something Xenoblade 2 related, because if, like me, you bought the season pass, there's supposed to be like a full extra story DLC that's supposed to be substantial coming this fall. So I have a feeling they'll talk about it.
Do we talk Metroid? They'll probably talk more about Metroid, maybe.
Yeah,
they'll probably
Metroid
mention
Prime 4.
Metroid in passing. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's a thing."
I think we'll get a bunch of 3DS releases.
Oh
No, I'm serious.
no.
Yes, we had what was it, on the last major Nintendo showcase, or what do they call their things? Treehouses, or
Yeah.
You mean the Nintendo Direct?
yeah, thank you.
Oh,
The Nintendo
Direct.
Directs. The last one, which focused on 3DS, or just focused on new games, they had a bunch of 3DS ones. The Dark Moon, which was going to be 3DS only. And I think they even mentioned a few new 3DS games. So I can guarantee we're going to get like 2 new 3DS launch games. Not launch,
So
but
weird.
2 new 3DS games.
They could announce the localization of Etrian Odyssey X,
No.
which is the final.
Unless
Fine.
5
no.
sold well.
False.
I don't know if 5 sold well or not. It's just like the same game with different shit. Like, we'll give you a blimp this time.
No, honestly, Untold was probably my favorite transition away from the standard formula for Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah, it was just the same formula, but with a story.
Well, exactly. It had a story. Characters that you can actually get involved
You're
and engage
supposed to
with.
make your own story in 1 through 5.
I don't have
like-
enough
it's like-
mind power for
it's
that.
It's like
You just
sad
have to have the
D&D.
mind power.
It's like
Sad D&D.
it's one player D&D, which is horrible. If you've ever had a full set D&D game with like a competent dungeon master and like a group of people that make the game fun, playing it by yourself sucks. And
Don't
yes,
criticize my life.
I enjoy drawing maps. I like the fact that it was very much like a therapeutic session of like, okay, draw it here. Oh nope, that's a dead end. I could put like a spiky poison spot here. Like, it was very therapeutic, but with no story and creating my own characters, and I was just like, no, I can't do this. But that's me.
What else? Bethesda's talking more about Rage.
Oh,
I don't think there's gonna be any big surprises, guys. Kind of like Sony. Everyone expected something from Sony last year, and there was nothing.
Do you feel like there can't be big surprises anymore? Like, the internet has ruined everything for everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. And this is like everything takes so much money and time that you can't like sneak a game in.
And there's always like an intern who like doesn't care about his job enough to like leak everything.
Exactly. You need such big teams of people for these big surprises that they just have to reveal it, or when they can. Pains of a huge industry. PlayStation 5.
They said 3 years. They said 3 years.
That's my, what is it? Big White Buffalo or whatever. PlayStation 5.
White Buffalo? What are we talking about?
It's from, never mind.
Joey's talking about his big white
It's from
buffalo.
a movie.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know about your White Buffalo.
Let's talk about Joey's big white buffalo.
It's from that movie. I can't remember the name of it. Don't worry about it. I don't think... What else? There's supposed to be a PC showcase, but is that ever interesting?
No, the PC showcase is always a joke.
It
There's
was
like some guys like looking at like a new gaming mouse like in a room.
What about Vita 2?
Not happening. Why even mention the heartbreak? Come on.
The Switch already won the handheld war.
Do you think
It's
we'll
done.
we'll
Nintendo's
get
won.
a future Switch console that doesn't have HD rumble?
What do you mean, like a minimalist Switch?
You can turn it
Yeah.
off if you don't like it.
No, I love it. I think the more creative, the more high quality of a rumble, the better. I just don't know if it's like if developers are gonna take advantage of that at all.
I mean, some of them do.
Some, but like I'm sure most don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, they already announced the new Switch in Japan. It's just like dockless
Really?
Switch.
No, it's not. It's not so much a new one. It's just exactly that.
Well, it's like the new package. Like, it's like has no dock, so it's like handheld only. I mean, you could always buy a dock separately.
Is it a little cheaper?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about how much.
Like $20 cheaper. Like here.
It better be like a full
No
$90
dock.
cheaper.
Yeah, it was like a
How
whole
much they're charging
$100
for that dock.
That dock is way too expensive.
Speaking of which, my Switch has not bricked yet, and I still use my third-party dock.
That fake dock.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's fine. As long as you don't buy like a sketchy one from China, you're good. It's from Best Buy. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Because Best Buy is that reputable, right?
It's Insignia. It's fine. I've had an Insignia TV. It worked fine.
Considering, I don't think we even talked about it, but Best Buy lost its Gamers Club Unlocked.
Oh man, that's huge news. Thank you for bringing that up.
I can't tell if that was sarcasm.
No. That was real. That's the final nail in the coffin.
I think it's because everyone buys games anyways. They figured out that like there's enough hype behind games that they don't have to do all these promos to get people to come in and buy games that are new.
I think
Like,
they're going
they'll
to be
still
wrong.
sell the
though.
same.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that that gamble is not going to pay off for them.
Well, Best Buy is going down anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. It didn't work out right. Like you get people in the store, is what they thought, and they'll buy other shit, and that didn't work. And they're like, okay, well, people are just buying them online. They'll buy other shit as they buy them online, and that didn't work. And so it's just lost for them. So get rid of it.
I just think that it wasn't making them enough money, and they were giving out more discounts than it was raking in.
Well, that's really sad.
Wah, wah. Well, there's nothing really left in terms of discounts. Amazon doesn't do anything unless you pre-order. Then you've got the 2-week window on just pre-order games. No special editions, regulars only.
Yep, very specific. Maybe not even a steelbook. Gotta be careful.
Toys R Us is gone.
They've been shit for a while.
What is it? GameStop still works kind of on used games, but
GameStop's not so bad. You have to be very selective, but you can find some good deals.
GameStop's been evolving. They've made a smart move by buying Think Geek and going into like the toy store / novelty shop / video game store. I think that helped them a lot.
Yeah, that definitely kept them afloat.
I think they're also like in really good locations, whereas like Best Buys are kind of like so big that it's hard to fit them anywhere, except for like one location in your city. And GameStops can kind of like just get here and there, and there's plenty of games in the used market.
It's almost like Starbucks. There was like one on every corner at one point.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's kind of covers our special topics, I would say. We haven't really talked about Gamers Club and other things like that. But if we don't have any other special topics, we can go straight into our outro.
Sounds good.
All right, so you can find us online at geekenvy.podbean.com, and our podcast is on iTunes and Google Play, so check us out there. We're currently looking into Spotify and other means, so keep your ear to the ground. Where can we find everyone on the web? Let's go with Joey. Where can we find you?
Find me on Instagram at Geek Stereo and on Twitter at Me in the Stereo.
Matt?
I am at The Jedi Council with 2 L's on Twitter and Instagram.
And I am on Twitter and Instagram at Eric the Intern. You could send us your comments, suggestions, questions, and any other thing you want us to acknowledge. Whose AC is that? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's alright. That's mine.
Joey's.
It's really loud downstairs.
I can picture like a giant cave opening.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
It's a really old unit. It's like this little tiny townhome unit.
Alright, sorry.
It's a little AC that could.
Send us your comments, suggestions, questions, and anything else that you want us to read out and kind of acknowledge at askgeekenvy@gmail.com, and we'll be back in about 2 more weeks with a full cast and a whole bunch of other things to talk about. Have a good night, everyone.